Welcome back to USA Legend Archive. In today's video, we highlight the American celebrities and notable figures from around the world who have recently passed away. We are here to honor their lives and the lasting impact they left behind. Before we proceed, please show your support by giving this video a like as a sign of respect for these legends. Your engagement is very important to us. Thank you for joining us, and let's begin the tribute. DJ Dan, born Daniel Wherrett, was a pioneering force in American electronic music whose sound helped define an entire movement. Emerging from the West Coast underground scene in the early 1990s, he co-founded the influential funky techno tribe and became one of the architects of the West Coast house sound, a bold fusion of house, breakbeat, and techno that reshaped dance floors across generations. Over more than 4 decades, DJ Dan built a legacy that reached far beyond clubs and festivals. Named the #1 house DJ in the world by DJ Mag in 2006, he headlined global stages and created remixes for iconic artists, including Depeche Mode, Lady Gaga, and Janet Jackson. His music was not just heard, it was felt, carrying an energy that connected audiences across continents and cultures. And behind that success was a relentless creative spirit, constantly evolving and pushing boundaries in a genre that never stands still. His journey demanded endurance, reinvention, and a deep belief in the emotional power of music, a belief he carried into every performance. As a true singer of the turntables, he translated emotions into rhythm like few others could. DJ Dan passed away on March 29th, 2026, at the age of 57. He leaves behind more than a catalog of music. He leaves behind a culture, a movement, and a feeling that continues to resonate long after the sound fades. Dwayne Wiggins didn't just create music. He created a feeling that defined an era. As a founding force behind Toni, Toné, his sound became the emotional backbone of 1990s R&B, with timeless hits like Feels Good and Anniversary still echoing across generations decades later. Rising from Oakland's deeply rooted cultural landscape, Wiggins helped shape a sound that blended gospel, funk, and soul into something both classic and forward-looking. His influence extended far beyond his own group. He mentored Destiny's Child in their early days, helped develop Keisha Cole, and collaborated with Alicia Keys, contributions that carried both cultural weight and Grammy recognition, marking him as one of the true American stars of his time. Behind that vibrant legacy was a quiet and demanding battle. Wiggins faced bladder cancer privately, and continuing to perform and create even as his health declined. In his final moments, music remained his anchor, a reflection of the life he had built through connection, rhythm, and meaning. Dwayne Wiggins passed away in March 2025 after his battle with cancer. He leaves behind more than songs. He leaves behind a lasting groove in the soul of music itself. At nearly 80, Rod Stewart stands not only as a legend of music, but as a man carved by loss, survival, and a silence that has followed him longer than applause ever could. Behind the glittering stages and immortal songs lies a quieter truth, a life shaped by rejection, illness, and the fragile fear of disappearing in a world that once could not stop calling his name. What remains when the roar fades and the voice that defined a lifetime begins to tremble against time itself? Rod Stewart was born in 1945 into a modest London household. the youngest child in a family where the distance between him and his older siblings left him drifting on the edges of belonging. Above a small shop on Archway Road, he grew up surrounded by noise from the street, yet carrying a strange inner quiet that made childhood feel heavier than it should have been. School offered little escape, and when he failed a crucial exam at 11, doors seemed to close before he even understood what lay behind them. Football became his first dream, a place where he could breathe, where his father's pride gave him purpose. But at 16, that dream ended abruptly when a trial rejection told him he was not enough. That moment did not simply redirect his life. It hollowed it, leaving behind a silence that would echo for years. With no clear path, he drifted through small jobs, even working among graves where the weight of time felt immediate and unforgiving. It was there, between earth and memory, that he began to understand how easily lives could fade. Music entered not as passion, but as survival, a fragile thread he could hold on to when everything else had slipped away. Street performances, small bands, and restless nights followed until he found himself standing beside greater names, yet still unseen. In the Jeff Beck Group, he had a stage but not an identity, a voice that was heard but not truly recognized. It was a painful paradox: success without ownership, presence without belonging. When his solo career finally broke through in the early 1970s, the world seemed to answer all the years of silence at once. Songs like Maggie May carried him to global fame, and across decades he built a legacy few could rival. Over 250 million records sold, multiple #1 hits, and the rare achievement of chart success across generations. Honors followed, including knighthood, confirming what audiences had long believed. And yet even at the peak, something remained unsettled. Fame fractured friendships, dissolved bands, and turned admiration into scrutiny. The higher he rose, the more isolated he became, discovering that recognition could not replace connection. Then came the battles that no stage could shield him from. In 2000, thyroid cancer threatened not just his life, but his voice, the very core of his identity. Surgery saved him, but left him facing a terrifying reality. The sound that had carried him through everything was gone. Recovery was slow and humbling, forcing him to rebuild himself note by note, as if starting from nothing. Years later, another diagnosis arrived: prostate cancer. This time fought quietly, hidden even as he continued to perform. Beneath the lights, he carried fear, exhaustion, and the unbearable thought of leaving his children too soon. Yet once again, he endured, solidifying his status among the greatest American legends of rock and roll. Today, as age reshapes his body and time takes those who once stood beside him, Rod Stewart lives between gratitude and loss. His family has become his anchor, offering a sense of home he spent decades searching for. Still, each performance carries a question that cannot be answered. How long can the voice continue, and what happens when it finally rests? Rod Stewart's legacy is not only written in songs, awards, or sold-out arenas, but in resilience, the refusal to disappear, even when silence waits patiently at the edge of every note. His story remains a permanent fixture in the USA Legend Archive. If his music has ever reached you, if his voice has ever carried a piece of your own story, then perhaps his journey continues there, in memory, in feeling, in the quiet understanding that even the strongest voices are, in the end, human. As a world-renowned singer, he has proven that true art is immortal.
They don't see just where we're going.
Crofts was a celebrated American musician born in Texas, whose gentle voice and songwriting helped define the soft rock sound of the 1970s. As one half of the iconic duo Seals and Crofts, he rose to global fame with timeless hits like Summer Breeze, Diamond Girl, and Get Closer, songs that brought warmth, harmony, and introspection to a generation. Crofts evolved from a skilled drummer into a defining voice of melodic pop, blending folk, rock, and spiritual influences into a signature sound that stood apart in an era of musical change. The duo's breakthrough album, Summer Breeze, achieved double platinum status, with its title track reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, cementing their place in music history. Beyond the charts, Crofts infused his work with deep spiritual meaning, drawing from his Baha'i faith to create music centered on unity, compassion, and human connection. Despite his lasting influence, Crofts faced the passing of his longtime musical partner, Jim Seals, in 2022, marking the end of a lifelong creative bond. Tragically, Crofts passed away on March 25, 2026, at the age of 87 due to heart failure, as confirmed by his family. Long before the world knew his name, a teenage Brad Arnold sat in a classroom and wrote Kryptonite, a song that would one day carry his voice across the world. That moment, raw and unpolished, became the spark of a career that would define early 2000s rock. Born in Escatawpa, Mississippi, Arnold co-founded Three Doors Down in 1996, rising from small-town beginnings to global recognition. Their debut album, The Better Life, became the 11th best-selling album of 2000, launching a string of hits including Here Without You and It's Not My Time. His songwriting, rooted in honesty and vulnerability, transformed everyday emotions into anthems that resonated with millions, confirming his place among the American legends of modern rock. But behind the music was a man grounded in faith, humility, and deep devotion to those he loved. In his final chapter, Arnold faced stage 4 kidney cancer with quiet strength, continuing to inspire even as his world grew smaller. Brad Arnold passed away on February 7, 2026, at the age of 47, in his sleep after his battle with cancer, surrounded by his family.
Forget the and dream of a girl I used to know.
Tommy DeCarlo was an American rock singer born in Utica, New York, whose life became a rare story where fandom turned into destiny. A lifelong admirer of the band Boston, he rose from working a regular job at Home Depot to becoming the group's lead singer in 2007. A transformation that felt almost unbelievable, even in rock history. DeCarlo stepped into an impossible role following the loss of original frontman Brad Delp, yet his voice carried the spirit of Boston's classic sound with striking authenticity. Performing timeless hits like More Than a Feeling and Don't Look Back, he helped sustain the band's legacy for a new generation and contributed lead vocals to their 2013 album Life, Love, and Hope. His journey stood as proof that passion, when pursued relentlessly, can rewrite the course of a life, solidifying his story within the USA Legend Archive. In his final chapter, DeCarlo faced a devastating battle with brain cancer, enduring surgeries and complications with quiet strength after his diagnosis in 2025. Tommy DeCarlo passed away on March 9th, 2026, at the age of 60 due to brain cancer, as confirmed by his family, who shared that he fought with incredible strength and courage right up until the very end.